So many animals that we feature from the Center for Wildlife, and we always wonder, which one is she bringing in today?
I know, it's kind of fun, actually, a fun surprise. We have Kristen Lamb, Executive Director at the Center for Wildlife, here with us this morning. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning.
So we have George, the wood turtle, here, and you were just saying you've noticed some turtles.
Yeah, and so when I'm driving out, usually it's out in the Willy Wax, right? I'm driving around in the boonies, the rural areas, and when I'm heading out to go hiking or something, I've seen several turtles. One of them I had to stop because so many cars were coming by, and I was afraid the turtle was going to hit. I pulled over, and I was with a couple of my kids. They go, "What do you get out of the car for?" I'm like, "Well, there's a turtle. I need to take off the road." And then I had to explain to him that the advice that you told me is when you pick up a turtle to put them on the side of the road is you put them in the direction they're going. Don't put them back to where they came from, where they're going.
Exactly. Yeah. So good job tuning in.
I was listening. Yeah, I was listening.
So turtles have they have three movements. The biggest one that people are aware of usually is nesting season. But they have a third movement around late summer, early fall, where they're moving to their hibernating grounds. So, you know, what made the good nesting habitat, or even the summertime ponds that are, you know, they have to move because maybe some of their spots have dried out. They move for the summer. They're now all heading to hibernating spots. So this is a big time of movement. And just like you said, Katie, you usually can demonstrate this.
Can I, please? Yes.
So you want to hold them like a sandwich.
Like a sandwich, yeah.
Most species, except for snappers, snappers you would it's safer to use like a piece of cardboard or a blanket, get them on it and pull them across the road. But the rest of them, like George, our wood turtle or painteds or musk or spotted turtles, you would hold them like a sandwich and just place them across the road in the direction they were facing. And George, you can see here, he's a species of special concern. You can see the lines on his scutes, almost like rings of a tree.
Yes.
He is between 30 and 40 years old.
Wow.
So when you're helping these guys across the road, you can be helping an individual that might be older than you, definitely older than your kids. And they are struggling, you know, when we make roads or fill up wetlands and things like that, they are losing habitat. So helping one individual that is threatened or endangered or special concern across the road to live and, you know, have more eggs and have more babies can make a huge difference.
You talked about going into hibernation. First of all, I didn't even know turtles hibernated. I don't know. I didn't even know what. But how long do they hibernate for? As long as bears and everybody?
Here's a fun vocab word for the day. Turtles and amphibians brumate.
Brumate.
Brumate, interesting.
It is a form of hibernation,
yeah.
but that's a fun word. So turtles are extraordinary, and they, you know, they are cold-blooded. So in the wintertime, there's not enough external warmth to keep their metabolism and everything going. So wood turtles will go under, they usually live around slow-moving streams. Like think about like really beautiful wooded streams and like riparian habitats, and they'll go underneath to the bottom of those, to the shallows of those streams. They slow their cardiovascular systems down, their breathing, their metabolism, and then they actually can end up breathing. They take in oxygen through their cloaca, which is where they go to the bathroom.
Wow.
So they're breathing underwater without their lungs. And then, just incredible. So
Cloaca.
The cloaca. Yeah, another great vocab
While they're
word for the
brumating.
day.
Yeah, while they're cloaca.
While they're brumating.
And, you know, another misconception, some people don't realize, you know, they can really feel, you know, their shell is part of their body.
Yes, absolutely. You're so right, Katie. So, you know, this is the vertebrae here. It extends through their tail, and then their shells are made out of bone and then layers of keratin, which is like what our fingernails are made out of. So when they're fractured, when people are picking them up, or even, you know, kids like moving or, you know, being a little rough with them or something like that, they can certainly feel all of that. And so George was hit by a car, and I think people sometimes don't realize that turtles or, you know, wildlife have the same physiology that we do. They can feel things the same way. So the turtle was actually found by a teacher who put him in their classroom, and so he didn't get the medical attention that he needed, so his fracture didn't heal, and he actually lost his front paw there.
And so, of course, he can't live, out in the wild.
And we actually had tried. So our clinic team checked in with field biologists to check if, are you seeing wood turtles when you're doing research that maybe are missing one front paw, but they're still in good body condition? And they said they had. So we actually tracked George. We tried because if an animal can go back to the wild, that's always the best.
That's the goal,
thing.
yeah.
But he lost his other paw, so he was predated on.
Yeah.
This is a wood turtle. How many different species of turtles are there?
We have 7 different species of terrestrial turtles in Maine.
Really?
Yeah, so snapping, painted, musk, wood, spotted, box.
There we go.
Yeah, which is like the northernmost part of their range.
And so, George is an animal ambassador, and so he lives at the center. But obviously, your ultimate goal is treating these wild animals, releasing them back into the wild. How are those efforts going these days?
So good. We have turtles in every room. So we had a big turtle year. The center is one of the only rehabilitation centers in all of Maine that can treat turtles.
Oh, wow.
So we're actually working on our outdoor enclosures, and we're going to have an amphibian and turtle outdoor recovery enclosure, which we're so excited about.
Wow.
But we've got guys we have one snapping turtle that woke up out of hibernation in April. And at dock was installed accidentally. She was right underneath the dock post. So she's about this big. She's giant and ancient. But she's recovering, and we're going to be able to release her. So we have probably, I'd say, 15 or 20 in care. We've treated over 100 this year, and they can, we've got little painteds this big up
I know, it's
to
amazing
giant
the size
snappers.
Variety.
Yeah.
So all the folks that want to go down and check out the 15 to 20 turtles you have and the rest of the animals.
And George.
Give me the address and your website too.
Yeah, so we're at 375 Mountain Road, which is actually just right at the base of Mount Agamenicus. So it's a great trip for those who like nature. You can visit us and then go hiking at Mount A. Our website is thecenterforwildlife.org, and we have a nature center with a lot of hands-on activities. And then you can visit our ambassador village. So George and all of our friends, our owl and hawk friends that are non-releasable, live there. And then we've been expanding our trails. We're just, we have a bird blind that you can sit in, and there's a magical trunk out there that if you open now, it has kids' binoculars and like a little journal.
wow.
So
Oh my
just
gosh.
really encouraging ways for people to slow down and connect with the amazing species that we have.
They
in
are
the
amazing,
wild.
and we always learn something when Kristen comes, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, what's the name of the word again?
Crewmating.
Crewmating.
All right, thank you so much, Kristen, and thank you, George.
Thanks for having
We'll be
us.
right back.